Hello, people of the Drifter Network. Welcome. I'm here today to discuss the future of the channel. I've been going through a crazy spiritual revelation. This is going to be a hard video to make. I was thinking about editing this big thing, and I'm just like, I was being told, just go to your camper, face the camera, be honest, tell people the truth about where we're headed and how this thing started and why we're going in a new direction going forward. So to start with a smile and positivity, thank you for everybody who's followed this channel from day one. It's been an awesome journey. It really has. And although we're going in a different direction forward, it's going to be way more impactful, way better for people. It's no longer just entertainment and doing what I'm doing. It's all about helping the community, serving God, and spreading the good news in a world that's a complete dumpster fire right now. So that's the only way I find that my channel can have any purpose going forward. So let's watch the first Drifter Network video ever made. Jumping in unknown waters. Look at that awful filter. Cannonball! Wow. 74 views. It's hilarious looking at the early days, We got some Australia footage. We were just trying to get something on the network when I came up with this idea. Feeding the geese with my mouth. Ooh, this one hit big. 48,000 feeding a crocodile. Yada, yada, yada. All this really doesn't matter. When I look back at everything the channel's done so far, places we've gone, we've met awesome people. And really, I see 3 videos that were worth doing in the grand scheme of life, That was number 1, the Cruising for Kelly, where we were supposed to rollerblade across Alberta, turned into a bike trip. We raised money for Kelly Gates, rest in peace. She had a bad battle with cancer, and that one mattered. That was my first awakening to like, holy crap, like you can have this purpose. You can bike across the country. You can serve somebody else other than yourself. Because, that's pretty much what we do as humans, is we just serve ourselves, food and pleasure. So that was the first one. Freedom Convoy was an important one to me. Canada still really doesn't even know what happened there. They're just told it was a bunch of radicals. But really, that was kind of one of the most beautiful, amazing experiences I've ever been a part of. So I feel proud of that one. Speaking up against the tyranny that was going on during COVID, which most people still are oblivious to how bad it was. So number 2, Freedom Convoy. Number 3, the cold plunge. And we're going to talk about that one a little more in depth so I can confess the origins of it and give the glory to not myself but to God, and I'll feel a lot better going forward for everything else we're going to do. I don't want it to be about me. I'm being pushed by forces into these directions, and I've been running from them for a long time, and life has felt really empty post the cold plunge, where for 100 days I had purpose, I had meaning, and it was awesome to serve people. But we'll start from the beginning, and I'll tell you how it happened. All right, so the beginning of the cold plunge. Essentially, I guess it started when I left Grand Manan in a rough state, fresh out of a breakup, my first really heartbreak, I guess you could say, and dealing with that and driving across back out to Alberta, where it's been my second home, and I know I can get by out there, and I can just get away from the mess that I was in. And it turned out great, Happened to go on an amazing ski trip with all my Australian buddies, or most of them. I got my Class 1 trucking license. All this stuff happened. I had friends who hosted me in their home with their family and cooked for me, and we did things as a family, and it was good rehab. Got in shape. And so it brings me to, after a hunting trip in northern Alberta, I'm planning to go to Fort McMurray with my Class 1, and I'm going to grind the oil field and make some money. So I get to the sign, and I realize, is this really what I want? do I want to go to Fort McMurray? I've done the oil field. I've served my time. I know what it's about. So I called my dad. I said, Dad, I think I'm just feeling like coming home. I got this land. I miss my kitties. I left in a hurry on the island. I feel like I got to clean up my property. So he said, yeah, just come home. We like it here. It's not like Fort McMurray is going anywhere. So I was like, all right. Made a U-turn at the Fort McMurray turnoff sign coming from northern Alberta. And I headed back to New Brunswick. So the whole drive home is awesome. I'm always in my prime when I'm by myself on the road. I'm crushing audiobooks and seeing the sights and talking to people. I'm in my element, it's Drifter Central. And things are going good the whole entire way home until I get to the Blacks Harbor Ferry. And all of a sudden it was the weight, the heaviness. I was not so sure that I made the right decision to come back. And I pulled up to the ferry booth, and I remember Deb was working there. She's an awesome lady. I don't know her super well, but we talk every time I pull in, and she sees that I'm a disaster. She says, "Are you okay, honey?" I said, I could have just drove away and been like, yeah, I'm good. Just, I kind of had my hood and sunglasses, and I said, no, I'm not. I said, I just drove the whole length of the country. I don't know if I'm supposed to be going back over there, a lot of pain and things that I was avoiding. And so we had a good chat, and she said, well, you'll figure it out. You'll either stay or you'll leave. I said, yeah, you're right. So I get on the ferry, and I just don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to see anybody. I just want to put my hood up, get my sunglasses on, and just kind of disappear and get to the island and get to my property, And I remember the first person I ran into that I knew was, what's that? Annoying me. Was Tristan Russell. He noticed me. I was heading up for the upstairs deck to get away, and he said, oh, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. And, I don't know him super well, but he's a great Islander, great person. And, I just thought, okay, that was this first sign of life. It wasn't that people were going to be judging me and saying, looks like he came back, and I had no idea what people were saying. And, now I don't care. But so that was like, okay, things might be looking up. So an important detail I left out about that drive home was sometimes I'll get a music song or some words in my head, and this one was an old classic hymn. A lot of the black churches and stuff sing it, and it was Wade in the Water. So I downloaded 3 versions of Wade in the Water, just hearing all the different versions, and I like all 3 of them. They're awesome. So I'm listening to that on the way home, not thinking anything of it. So that's an important part, is that that's kind of the cue. Wade in the water, wade in the water. That's kind of in the back of, that's the soundtrack. It's kind of there. So get to the island. I continue to, I've been a Christian forever, but it's always been kind of one foot in the door, one foot out. I'm not really doing all the right things, but I believe in God, and, the murderers on the cross beside him got saved, so will I. But what we don't know is that when we keep destroying ourselves with bad decisions and sinful things, and it just hurts ourselves and God. So from the time I got back, I worked like a dog, and I'm proud of that. I worked so hard to pay for a well, get everything going on my land, the concrete, I just put my head down and I grinded right until December 8th. I moved out of my big camper, winterized it, and moved into a warm garage. So we're getting close to the actual beginning of the cold plunge. So I move into my garage for the first time in my life. I'm not homeless. First time in a long time, I guess I should say. I got a shower, a toilet. Life is good. I have a home base now that I can operate out of, and that was important for the swim, is to just have a spot where you can be warm and shower after. And but I was still very broken, Alberta didn't heal me. I still was dealing with all the same pains and burdens and addictions, all that stuff. Yeah, and so, I need to take a minute here. All right, I had to have a little powwow with the man upstairs. And if I'm doing this, I'm doing it 100% honesty. And I think there's one little part that was kind of a spark for this whole 100-day plunge. But I think I need to reveal that because it shows that I started the cold plunge with completely selfish desires, all right? It was never day one to help the community. I wish it was, but it wasn't. So the spark, I guess, of January 1st, where Vinny and I are in the creek, you know, we're doing this, changing our ways, throwing away the bad habits. We'd gone to a dinner in St. John with some new friends, like never met them before. And I met a girl there who was, she was awesome, you know, had lived a similar, like, you know, sinful life, come to Christ, but a lot more in a real way, not like your Ned Flanders kind of Christian women, and very traditional. I was like, wow, like this is what us men should be looking for, you know. It was like an eye opener. And yeah, I don't think I was really ready for her at the time. It didn't work out, but at the same time, it gave me a spark of fire for those first 14 days until I changed it over to the food bank thing. That I was like, all right, I got a lot to offer here. I know what I got. I just need to clean up my act, you know. I need to be honest that I'm changing my ways, my shortcomings, and I was trying to do it all by myself, right? I'm going to quit vaping. I'm going to quit smoking weed. We're going to throw our bong off the cliff. You know, these are all things we did, Vinny and I. We were like, yeah, took all our vapes and we threw them in a puddle. And we had a group called the Scorched Earthers, and we were just scorching all our habits. And all four of us fell off the wagon, all right? So it didn't work trying to change, you know, our little imperfections. But 14 days into the swimming of like, hey, like, you know, every day I'm feeling good. The cold water, it's always a benefit. And I had this idea of the 100 days. It's like, if you do 100 days in a row, something big's going to happen. And I was like, okay, but I don't want it to be like, hey, look at me, I'm going to swim for 100 days. It has to have more of like an actual purpose and a reason. And I was like, okay, everybody's struggling right now. I see it more than most, I think. So it's like, okay, where can we give our money? Where can we be of service? And it was like the food bank, okay? So I guess I met the ladies, decided it was a great organization, great place to put your money, and I announced it publicly that we were doing 100 days in a row to raise money for the food bank, and that was going to keep me accountable to this mission that I knew I wanted to do. It was no longer for a girl or anything. It was kind of more like, all right, I've been called to do this. The Wade in the Water song's still going. It's difficult, but it's kind of fun, and I'm going to follow this, and we're going to raise some money for charity. You know, so we'll skip right through the whole thing. You know, goal was 5,000. You know the story. By the end of it, we had almost 45,000. You know, it was crazy, and impossible things were happening. You know, you could just feel the community getting behind it. Kids were getting in the water, old people in the water. It's just this beautiful thing, you know, really living, not just chasing my own desires. Like, we're rallying everybody. Yeah, I'm just kind of like the messenger for this cause, the Pied Piper, given this assignment, you know, which I wasn't really disclosing. I was just like, hey guys, let's raise money for the food bank. So we get to 100 days. It's closure, you know. It's been this roller coaster of emotions for me, you know, this heavy burden at times, you know, editing, trying to work lobster fishing and still go for a swim at the end of the day, and then edit the video when you get home. And I don't have internet, so I'm plugging it in, trying to upload my videos and keep this thing going. And so we finish, and it's a huge success. And one of the ladies at the food bank said, you know, are you going to be all right after this? I said, oh yeah, like, you know, I can't wait. Like, I'm glad this was great, and I'm ready to go back to doing my own thing, and going back to being a little more isolated, not so much into the public. And I thought that was just gonna ride off into the sunset. You know, I threw my back out the next morning on like a quarter tub of bait, which is like, can't believe that happened, but it made me want to go to South Carolina with Vinny. We had an awesome trip. And then, you know, come back, and it's time to face the music. You know, something's missing. So coming back from South Carolina, we get to go to the Action Ministries award banquet, and I got, all these award certificates, Action Ministries. We had awards from the province, and probably the sweetest one was the man who made this piece of art of me in the water. That was all humbling, beautiful gifts, and meant a lot to me, and I was greatly appreciated and humbled. But I feel like looking to bring me to where I am today, it's like I've looked at these certificates on the wall, and I feel like it's been stolen valor, because it kind of just looks like things I did, like me, and I'm trying to get away from that. So I felt the calling to start to just be honest, start living a godly life again. This whole world is crumbling around us. I've been to the bottom of the rabbit hole, and the only answer left is God. And I see people waking up all over the internet. I talked to just 3 people yesterday, like all at once, and they're talking about God. They used to know him when they're young. And I mean, the Matrix is fake. Your whole world is fake. Everything's a lie, whether you realize it or not. And when you get to that conclusion, it's dark. And here we have this free love, this light, this ability to surrender our problems and burdens. And, it's been healing. And I want to share that life and that light with you guys. I got big plans for another cold plunge thing. It won't be 100 days, but it's going to be bigger and better than last year. We're going to do it every year. But I can't just do one thing a year. I feel like there's things that I need to pull the trigger on immediately, which is why I made this low quality video confessing my intents to officially demolish the Drifter Network as we knew it. We appreciate what it was and how it got us to this point, learning our editing skills and, getting a passion for this. But if I don't have a passion for this network, like, I haven't been able to look at this thing the same. Like, the whole thing just feels fake and worth nothing if we're not changing people's hearts. I'm not here to change your minds and say, you got to follow Jesus or you got to burn in hell. That is kind of the background message, but at the same time, there's no pressure here going forward. It's all about the love. It's all about helping people and doing this so honoring God. We're going to share our light, and everything from this day forward is because he's changed my heart, changed my eyes, and it feels great. And I want to share that with the world. And if I lose followers because of it, I don't care, because this network was already dead to me if I don't continue to raise money for the community, to help the addicts, to feed the homeless, do what we're actually called to do as Christians, not just, attend our service and say, well, good thing I'm saved, sucks to be them. When you truly feel the calling, you got to surrender to it. I've been beat down for the last week, just crying all day, and happy tears in a lot of ways. And I can't believe I made it through this whole thing without crying. And, I was able to stay positive. And I guess I have a whole whack of testimonies coming, overdoses on drugs, meeting God then. I got so many stories and experiences to share with people that if I just bottle them all up and take them to the grave, then what good is that? There is no profit under the sun if we just chase money, chase the next vacation, the next vehicle. It's worthless. I've realized that. King Solomon realized that, 600 wives, 300 concubines. Man, he lived the way most guys wish they, we might not say it, but we all wish we could have lived the way King Solomon did. And he realized that there's no profit under the sun, nothing to be gained by all his material wealth and temples that he built. And the only thing of value in this world is your spiritual relationship with God. And I believe that. So that's where we're going forward. I hope you'll join us on our journey, be a part of it. We want everybody to feel included. However, with this new purpose, new mission, I just want to give it up to God for bringing me to my senses, and I hope I can spread the light with everybody else. So I'm going to end this video. It's been long, and good things are coming. In a dark world, a twisted world where there's it's hopeless. Our politicians are all evil. Our money's evil. Everything about it, when you realize how sick and perverted this world is. And it's like, why is it this way? Oh, maybe because we just kind of forgot about Jesus and we don't follow the Bible anymore. You know, anybody who reads this book will be better off from it. I promise you. Even if you didn't believe in God and you lived like a Christian for a month, you know, your life would be better. And, you know, everybody finds God's in their own ways. Sometimes it's through AI. Some people go deep down that rabbit hole. Sometimes it's through a trip, psychedelics, mushrooms, DMT, whatever. There's many ways that everybody's being brought to God. And right now it's through the internet. It's hard to just go to church when you're not used to that. So I just want to try to help people, point them in the right directions, point out my flaws, and say, hey, I am worse or as bad or worse than most of the sinners out there, and that's okay, you know. Come as you are. Let's make our lives better. Let's make the community better. Let's make the world better, because end times are coming. It's time that we get right with God, and I really don't care about anything else. So make fun of me, laugh at me, unfollow my page. Go for it. I'm free from the matrix, and it no longer affects me. I'm here to help those who need it. So Drifter Network 2.0, it's coming. Same name, same, a lot of the same stuff, cold plunging, whatever, but my videos will have purpose, and no more hiding the truth, you know. I've been touched to move in a different direction in my life and been healed of a lot of my problems, and I'm still going to screw up in the future. It's inevitable. Nobody's perfect, but going to try our best, and my heart's changed. And, you know, you don't change your mind. When your heart changes, it changes everything else. And that's what I've realized to be true. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Good things are coming.